Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you for joining us today. Put in a hashtag live if you're joining us live and a hashtag replay. Also, let us know where you're joining us from. We love to hear from you and get to know how your journey has been. Have you gotten a copy of Fired Up? It's a collection of inspiring breakthrough stories of women change makers from around the world, and we also share a step by step roadmap in different areas of our lives. So, today, happy to introduce to you evangelist Angie B. She is joining us all the way from Daytona Beach, Florida. Welcome.
Welcome, Rebecca. It's so good to see you. It truly is. I know we chat every day on Facebook, but it's good to see your smiling face. Good
Good
morning. Good morning.
morning. And how have you been? How does it feel to become an international number one best selling author?
I cannot keep stop from pinching myself. I know that when we were writing and as we were going along the journey together, we kept claiming it. We're going to go number 1. We're going to go number 1. But then when you explained that international Amazon number 1 is number 1 in 2 countries, and then we achieved it. I was like, "Oh, look at you, Jesus, just showing out for your birthday." Oh my God. I'm so thrilled. I truly am.
Sure. Would you like to share about yourself? What you do about yourself to those who do not know you.
Well, I am the proud mother of Angelin and Jasmine. They tell me that I don't give them enough shout outs. And so that's their shout out for today. That's your Christmas present, too, y'all. You ain't getting nothing from your mama. That's it. They were raised while I was struggling with a mental illness. And so, just for the sheer fact that they have grown up to be strong, independent, wise, intelligent women who both got married during the pandemic. I'm honored that they still call me mother. So that's a start right there. I'm a daughter. My daddy texted me today. I'm an eldest sister of 3 women, and I'm a granddaughter. My grandmother called me and said, "Are you coming over for Christmas?" I said, "That's so tempting." So I came up from a strong, proud family. Grew up in Detroit, Michigan. Did my college in Ohio, and interned in Orlando, Florida at Disney. And I still remain in Florida. I'm in Daytona Beach, Florida. Got married a couple of times. My children's father was Navy, so I got a chance to be a Navy wife for a moment. Married another man who was abusive, so I am a domestic violence survivor. And finally, after I had completely dedicated my life to God, I said, "I'll go where you want me to go. I'll say, I'll do whatever." Then he sends me this man, and I'm like, "Lord, what am I supposed to do with him?" And Barty and I have been married for 8 years now. And through that marriage, many more ministries were birthed. One of them is the writing ministry that I'm now on. Anthologies, collaborations. My husband and I have now written 2 books together. And so the beauty in that is that he gets it when I say, "I got to write this," or "I got a deadline," or "The Lord gave me something and I got," he's like, "Okay, go ahead. I'll fix dinner." And it's it's a beautiful thing. So I'm grateful to serve the Lord with gladness as Angie BEE Productions and Angie B and Barty Productions, and as ordained evangelist Angie B. Now our agency is Angie B Productions, and we produce audiobooks. So you don't see me a lot because I'm generally behind the microphone trying to bring someone else's words to life. And I truly love that. It gives me a chance to read and bring to them what I see of their writing. Narrating audiobooks has made me a better writer because when I go back and read it, I'm like, "Would I want to listen to, to what I just wrote?" And so through that partnership of my life and my agency, my advice to writers is that after you write it, set it down, give it some time, and go back and read it to yourself out loud. Even if you don't like the sound of your voice, you'll be able to hear what others are trying to gather from your writing. So that's about me. That's me, Angie B.
Mhm. Yeah, that's so wonderful to know more about you.
Thank you.
And we'd also like to share that Angie is the one who's narrating our audiobook as well, which will be out soon. So, would you
Yes.
like to tell everyone about that journey? How has that been?
That has truly been a labor of love because going through the initial stories, I could just about relate to every woman and every aspect of what they said. Even with the story about multiple sclerosis, even though I don't know anyone with that particular issue, I do know other people that have I've got other diagnoses myself, and so I loved the roadmap, the way she kind of helped us to look at, okay, if this is what you're going through, this is a way that you can deal with it. I appreciated all of the stories where somebody was going through something and then they came to themselves. It kind of reminded me of the prodigal son. You know, he was in there with the pigs and then he came to himself and he went back home. Each woman's story talks about, well, you've said it, a mess into a message and a tragedy to a triumph. But then just to read the stories, just to really get a global perspective, because I may be in Florida, but there are other authors that are in different parts of the world, so just to see what they experience. But I think my favorite has been Laretha Simon's story. Just the fact that she came on board late. We had all been working on our projects for a couple of months. And Laretha came in with like 2 weeks to deadline and not only wrote one story, but changed her mind and went back and wrote another story. And it's, oh my goodness, her enthusiasm just really gets to me. I appreciate the Canadian aspect. I appreciate the two sisters. It's just such a wonderful project. It truly, truly is. And I'm enjoying bringing it to life.
Yes, and we are also enjoying listening to you as each chapters are coming out. So let's go back a bit. So how was your life before the project, and how come you decided to work with us?
My life before the project was completely, I hate to say scatterbrained, but it was whatever I felt like the Lord needed me to do. If the Lord said, get up and write a book, okay, you tell me what to write. If the Lord said, don't worry about that one, set it to the side, okay, Lord, you'll tell me when to pick it up. And there's nothing wrong with that, but it truly lacked, it lacked a reason other than serving the Lord. So when I met you on Facebook and you were talking about this project and the deadline, first of all, the deadline was intimidating to me. That felt like homework. That felt like, oh, the teacher said we got to get it. And then going on the website and looking at the assignments and realizing, I had a word limit and I'm very wordy. I'm a radio show host and I'm a preacher. So I'm very, very wordy. And so training myself to meet the deadlines, training myself to stay within the word count, especially staying within the word count, helped me find that there could maybe be one word to replace the 3 or 4 elaborate words that I had added. So working with you truly improved my writing, I believe. Yeah, I believe. Now, do I want to do it again? I don't know, but yeah, I do. I do. Please include me in the next. I learned so much. I learned so much, so much. And off the record, but I had major surgery on the 1st of October. So a lot of your deadlines were while I was still on pain meds or, trying to get some rest and so some of them I truly dreaded. But then you told us about that November novel writing contest where you write 50,000 words during the month of November. I set because of you, I set that on my goal. I said, okay, by November, I'm going to be up and I'm going to be writing. It still didn't work out that way. Mid November, I was still like, oh, no, no. But I worked on that project. I did not meet the 50,000 word goal, but I did meet 11,000 words. And now I have a children's novel. I'm so excited just watching the characters come to life. My first novel, just oh, I'm so excited about that. I have not yet sent it to edit or done anything with it, but just going back and rereading the characters and knowing that because of you and Fount of Grace, I not only completed my deadline for Fired Up, but I wrote a children's novel too. It is, oh, God be the glory. To God be the glory. In my wheelchair with this cast. Um, it, it, to God be the glory. That's all I can say.
Yes, and I did get a chance to go through a bit of that children's book as well, and it's really cute and lovely. And I'm sure all the children will be, they can like imagine it in their heads that, this is the character, this is what they are saying, and where they are
Right,
placed, and
right,
also
right. I
it's
think
come
so.
out very
I I
well.
I think so. I think so. So and I know we got to get to the next topic, but I just want to encourage somebody. If you're sick, if you're shut in, if you're having a rough time, if you don't think you can, set some goals. If you can't set your own goals, let somebody else like Rebecca set a goal for you because that motivates you to do more and to be more, and then you can truly give God glory because you know it can't be from you. You're weak and you're broken and you're so set that goal and meet that goal, and be an overachiever. Yeah.
Yeah, so okay, any three words that you'd like to describe me with as a coach, as a publisher?
Patient. You are patient in tone, patient in personality. You are accommodating, patient and accommodating, um, and you're highly, highly. Um, you are a visionary. A visionary's visionary. I may see myself as Amazon #1 bestseller, but you'll help me see beyond that as an international Amazon #1 bestseller. And yes, you are patient because when you work with people like me who are all over the place, you know, you're patient enough to slow us down and say, okay, let's be still and get back to work. Let's find some time today, please, to get your project done. And so yes, you're definitely a visionary's visionary. I appreciate
Thank you.
that. And I do truly look forward to the next project. Just watching you create the or deliver to us the images, the fired up image. We can see the vision unfolding through you, and so I'm thrilled about that. Definitely, definitely.
Thank you.
Those are my words.
Thank you so much. Any favorite memory that you have over these months of Fired Up? Our experiences, our stories, or anything?
I think my favorites have been the way you have introduced each author. You did the round of interviews, and again during my medical leave it gave me an opportunity to set an alarm and say, okay, I got to be awake because Rebecca's going to introduce us to Miriam or Mona, or are they the same person? Oh, they're two different people, there's it gave me a chance to meet the author even before the book was available. I think that it even excited me more about getting the book, and I knew I was in the book. I respected the way the editor brought my words to life even more so than I thought I had done. As I narrated my own story later, I was like, that's good. That's good. Thank you. That's good. So I think those have been some memorable experiences for me, but just having an opportunity to collaborate with other women. I don't have anything I don't have anything against collaborating with men. I just love the fact that, sometimes women can be like crabs in a bucket. We just trying to pull each other down. But to be able to collaborate with women and we're all working together internationally and virtually, oh, that has done it for me. That is spectacular.
Especially when we were juggling time zones and timings for our
Oh my
meetings.
goodness. My goodness. Yes, the time zones, the families, the change in schedules. You've remained consistent and you've remained receptive. If somebody makes a suggestion, you'll say, "Okay, that's a good idea," and you'll consider it. And there are a lot of visionaries out there that will like, oh no, we're doing it this way. This is the way it needs to be. And they're not receptive to other people's suggestions. And so that's why I can say I'm truly proud of you
Thank
for
you.
knowing that God has sent you more than just the vision. He's sent you helpmates to be able to bring it about. So that's wonderful.
Absolutely. Like, I had mentioned it in my intro as well, that it takes a village to bring out a book. We can't do it, solo handedly. It needs a lot of
Right,
people, a lot of time, effort,
right, right.
and work around it. So, um, like, I think I've asked you this earlier. I'm asking you again, like, what is your advice to someone who is at the brink of deciding whether to write or not to write?
Think about what you're going through, where you are, uh, what you may be dealing with. For example, I am an alopecian. I'm a woman that is completely bald. I have the autoimmune disease that robs me of my hair. So you may have something that you don't want anybody to see or to know about. I wore wigs for about 100 years, and until I finally decided, you know what, that money could be best used somewhere else, rather than covering up who God has allowed me to become. And once I took my wig off, I found a whole community of women, men, and children that deal with the same autoimmune disorder. And that got me thinking, well, if there's us, there could be others, and they may be struggling and they may need some words of encouragement. That is your first reason for wanting to write a book. Okay. You could be going through something, it could help somebody else, it could encourage somebody else. Now, everybody loves to talk about their legacy. Even the Bible talks about a wise man leaves an inheritance for their children's children. That may not always be money or a house. It could be how you survived something. It could be how you learned something. It could be your experiences. And Rebecca, you and Fount of Grace help us bring all that together. What we went through, how we overcame it. I never would have dreamed of writing a roadmap. A roadmap for what? Oh, it makes sense now. I want to do something about your roadmap to live with your baldness and no longer be ashamed. That's a roadmap. People ask me all the time, well, how do you shave and do you put makeup? That's a roadmap. So now I'm thinking about other stories that I could write using your format and working with you to be able to bring more stories out. Um, that really resonates with me. We have to continue to leave a legacy, not only because the Bible tells us to leave an inheritance, but we need to leave a legacy so that our children and our children's children don't have to fall in the same pit that we fell in. Things are going to be different. Things are going to improve and change. But if we can help them by leaving them some words of advice or words of encouragement, I would like to do that in a book form.
Sure. That's very nice advice. And I'm sure it is very important as well for us to document and put into words our thoughts and our feelings and the different stories that we have, because that particular story is only ours. No one
Hmm.
else can write it.
Right.
something that only we can write. So,
That's
yes,
correct.
thank you so much for sharing all of that. So, as we wrap up, so you can just share a bit more about yourself, where people can find you, and how they can reach you.
Well, I just learned about this thing called Link Tree. And so I created my Link Tree profile as Evangelist Angie B. You can look me up and see all of our websites. You can always call or text us at 407-914-6519. That's 407-914-6519. If you're interested in us doing your audiobook, or if you have a need for a commercial, we have men, women, and youth voice actors that can bring your commercial to life. Just search for Angie B Productions on Facebook, ANGIEBEE. Before we go, I'd really like to give a shout out to our music producer, DJ Shaheem. If you are currently listening to the audiobook and you hear that background music, all of that was produced by DJ Shaheem. And he does such a wonderful job partnering my voice with the beats. And so that's what makes Angie B Productions unique. We work with producers to truly bring something to life. I'm excited about my other books. I during the when the pandemic first started, we created an audiobook series called Confinement Chronicles, and that series will continue. If you have a pandemic story to share, like Rebecca, I know that the pandemic really affected your family. We want to hear those stories, because you losing your mother in April and helping other women to become Amazon international #1 bestsellers a few months later, that is so powerful. That is just truly powerful. And so I thank you for that. I thank you. So if we can assist anyone with our business or with our ministry, or just with a word of prayer, please feel free to contact us. And if you can't find me, then contact Rebecca. She'll know how to, she'll know how to get in touch with me. Thank you for this opportunity, dear. Thank you.
Sure. Thank you. Thank you so much for sharing all of that. We are going to release the audiobook and the paperback of Fired Up soon,
So
and you'll get to experience the magic of Angie B on via the audiobook, and we will be updating the dates soon. We'll let you
mhm,
know.
mhm.
And thank you all for joining us today. Thank you, ma'am, for taking this time out despite such a busy schedule.
It's okay. It's
And
okay.
thank you. And so tomorrow, do join us. We'll be having a chat with Yamina, and we hope all of you are having a great time gearing up for Christmas, family get-togethers, and all that is happening right now. And thank you for taking the time out. So we'll see you. Bye
Thank you very
bye.
much. Merry Christmas, everybody. Merry
Merry
Christmas.
Christmas.